order. If you could please rise for a moment of silence in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a roll call, please, Janine?
Mr. Campion?
Here.
Mrs. King?
Here.
Mr. Herner, absent.
Here.
Mayor O'Brien.
Here. I'm going to read with the Open Public Meetings Act. Pursuant to the requirements of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting was included in the annual notice municipal building, published as legal notice in the Co-Star newspaper and mailed to those requesting notice, payment in accordance with borough policy. We don't have any changes to agenda, so if I could get...
I would like to make a motion. I would like the agenda, and that is discussion items, community center renovations. I would like to table that until after the first of the year, since we have 2 new council people coming on board, and this is the last meeting. I think it would be beneficial for us to go forward at the first of the year with that discussion.
Well, I mean, I think we've got Paul here today, and we've got the plans. I don't see any harm in doing it both. I mean, as long as he's here, why not let him give us a quick overview of what he's got? I mean, that's my opinion, but you made a motion. If somebody wants a second and then we vote on it, then
I'll second it.
it's up to you. Can I get a roll call on that motion to remove the community center discussion item from the agenda?
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
No.
Well, thank you for stopping. I need your presentation. It's an early night.
A little close enough.
We will have you back, though. So, with that amendment, a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
November 2016.
Make that motion. Second.
Mr. Campion?
Abstain.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Abstain.
Motion passes.
We do any current scheduled presentations. We do have a scheduled public hearing on ordinance number 9, an ordinance of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights, a third party
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
If you would like to speak on ordinance number 2016-09, please approach the chair, state your name and address, and there's candy if you want to take some candy. Feel free. I should do it the other way. I said before you that if you keep your comments under 30 seconds, of this at all.
Service reviews.
of the borough auditor that we this is in conformity with the division for third-party payroll services.
So we currently use third-party payroll services. We're using the same third payroll services again, but we're formalizing that we're doing that.
That's correct. And at our next meeting, we'll be formalizing the designation as outlined in the ordinance, authorizing the specific third.
Okay. Now, we'd like, we get a motion, public hearing on that ordinance.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
Okay.
This is where I was confused. Now, do we introduce it? Need a motion? Next meeting.
Now we vote. Now we need a
I'll
motion
vote.
to adopt it.
I'll do the second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King? Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, that brings us to our public comment section on agenda items only. If you wish to speak on any of the items on the agenda, please come forward, state your name, address, take the candy or don't take the candy, and address the chair. Seeing no hands, can I get a motion to close the public comment section?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Warbeck?
Yes.
Closed.
We have no discussion items, which brings us to our mayor and council reports and announcements. We'll start with you, Councilman Campion. Do you have anything to?
I have nothing substantial. It's been a great year. It's been productive. I think we're going to miss our outgoing year. Happy holidays to everyone, and we'll see you in the new year.
I just wanted to extend my gratitude. Eventful season at the Great Recession. We had Superstorm Sandy. I had head and neck cancer, so I'm hoping that the next 6 years are not as eventful. For your sake, I really want to just say that it's been an honor serving up here. Our attorney. All the borough employees, everybody on the administration, everybody working in the office, the public works, our police department, our volunteers. I think we have the finest town in New Jersey, and I just thank you very much.
First of all, I just want to say that at the last meeting, I made mention of the tree out in the front going to be decorated in blue, and it is, if anybody has not seen it. Yes,
They're great.
it's really, very, very nice in honor of our law enforcement officers. And we've had a lot of good comments about it, so I thank everybody who has said how great it looks. I'm hoping that next year we can plan on having our Christmas tree lighting back here at Borough Hall, which is where it had been for many, many years, and that was the purpose of this tree being replanted in the first place after Hurricane Irene. Then I would just like to say it has been a pleasure for me to serve on the council with Tom Worthback, and him here, I wish him nothing but the best going forward. And also Art Herner, his brief time on council, I thank him as well. And I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a very happy New Year.
Councilman Schuler?
I have nothing to report, but I would like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and stay safe in the holidays.
Ditto.
Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
And stay safe.
All right, I think that's all we've got. Thanks again, Tom. That brings us to our reports, notices, and correspondences. We just have a couple. The Wall Township is having a public hearing on December 28th regarding amending Chapter 140, which is the definition of their group homes. GCP&L is having a public hearing on the 19th of December about the proposed increase in store and recovery charges. And there was a letter from the Independent Fire Company number 1 regarding the LoSAP enrollment changes.
Tom, with that letter from the fire company, do we need to take action to do what they're asking, or is that just happening on an administrative level?
I would prefer and request that there be some formal action. I think the letter is somewhat self-explanatory in terms of the definition of active volunteer. I just wanted to make sure the council is aware of that change, so we would incorporate that into our LoSAP regulations.
That would be, I assume, for the next year, because it couldn't go backwards, right?
Well, then we can address that at the time.
Okay, very
It would certainly be prospective, the retroactivity we can review.
Okay, we have no ordinance introductions at this time, which brings us to our resolutions. The first resolution is Resolution R 2016-177, which is authorizing a tax lien redemption for 720 Allaire Road. Can I get a motion for that?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
Motion carried.
And next is Resolution number R 2016-178, a resolution of the Borough Council authorizing the cancellation of tax and utility overpayments or delinquent amounts less than $5.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler? Motion passed.
Next is Resolution number R 2016-179, a resolution of the Borough Council canceling designated grant receivable balances. A motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next is Resolution R 2016-180, a resolution of the Borough Council authorizing the transfer of 2016 municipal budget appropriations. If you just notice in your packet, that includes an amended sheet in green, and the total of those is $6,000.
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
Motion passed.
The next is a resolution of the Borough Council approving change order number 1 for the 2016 municipal road improvement to Jeanette Court project, decreasing the contract with Earl Asphalt Company by $6,547.63 to a revised contract amount of $87,665.50.
Make that motion. I'll second it.
Roll call?
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Borbeck?
Yes.
Motion
I like when
passed.
we amend them and they go down.
Yes.
No, this isn't the first time it's happened.
No, it happens now and again, but not always. The next is Resolution R 2016-182, a resolution of the Borough Council authorizing the purchase of a 2017 Ford F-350 extended cab and chassis vehicle with utility body and snowplow for our Public Works Department.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
So that, just to be clear, that authorizes up to, what, $40,000, right?
50.
$50,000,
And that's
sorry.
part of the capital.
Yep, and we talked about this, as Chris said, in the beginning of the year during our budget talks. This is part of our
Plan for you.
Yeah.
I would like to comment. $50 with
We sold
So yes. We had a motion and a second, can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Dash.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And the next is something I failed to mention during the announcements, but it's a resolution of the Borough Council establishing the 2017 reorganization meeting, which is when you will see us next up here, or some of us already don't, which is January 1st, 2017 at noon.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Rohrbach?
Yes.
Motion passes.
The next is resolution number R 2016-185. A resolution of the Borough Council providing for requests for professional services for the year 2017. This allows us to put out requests for borough attorney, for labor attorney, for tax appeal attorney, and several others.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. American?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Rohrbach?
Yes.
Motion passes.
The next we actually talked about at the last meeting. In the Borough Council 2016 bill list.
Second.
Yes.
Motion passes.
This brings us to comment on the agenda or off the agenda. If you would like to speak, please approach the chair, state your name and address, take some chocolate, and Mayor, please.
So I have a nice quick story to tell. On December 7th, the association had our Christmas party. And as part of that, we recognized one of first child that both mother and daughter are doing well.
That's great to hear. Thanks for the good news.
Jack Griffin, 564 Atlantic Avenue, Thetford.
You just moved in, right?
You didn't move, right?
Maybe I did, I don't remember. On behalf of the Environmental Commission, I would like to thank the mayor and his extended family, Councilwoman King, Councilman American, the borough attorney, Mr. McLean, Rita Murphy for her photography skills, our chief of police, Dave Petrikin, Joe May, and Peter, whose last name I don't know, but Peter is a digging machine, I gotta tell you. Jay and the utilities guys who turned the water on within 15 minutes when we realized it was off. And all the various members of the Environmental Commission who came out and helped with the tree planting at Fletcher property and all of the preparation work that went into that, because that was about a month-long event of grabbing people for an hour here and an hour there, and we'd go over, tear out weeds and rake and clean an area. And it was just done as people had some time to go over to get everybody there and do what needed to be done. And those were the first trees, new trees that we planted at Fletcher. Everything else before this was so all this comes for the grants next year, hopefully we can to get some money for various projects, energy projects. There's a school project that I'll refer over.
Eric Bennett, 903 Ridge Road. Just a request, the lights at the community center, the exterior, is there any way to get a timer put on them? Because they are on all night and they tend to break windows. The lights
Yeah, I don't see that there's any reason that we couldn't.
are at least angled, so because they are bright on all night.
Mayor,
Go ahead.
Are these the spotlights in the parking lot?
Yeah.
I believe that they are dusk,
Dusk and
photoelectric cells, so they
I know
may be operating, they may not be operating properly.
Okay.
I'll check with you after the meeting, and we'll make sure, we'll check with JCP&L.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Good call.
Seeing no further hands, would someone like to make a motion to close the public
Make
hearing?
that motion. Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Campion?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Merrickin?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Fargo?
Yes.
So, and before I ask for an adjournment, I'd just like to say happy holidays, everyone, and thank you very much, Tom. It's been an honor. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you all. Yeah, I don't know.